In today's video, we'll showcase the red carpet UK premiere of the movie, Masters of the Air. Make sure to watch this video to the end as we take you beyond the velvet ropes to catch the exclusive interviews with the cast and crew of the film, such as Austin Butler, Callum Turner, Barry Keoghan, and others.
Hey everybody, welcome. Look at these guys, jeez. Oh man. Would every beautiful actor in the audience stand up, please, and let us appreciate you too? How many are out there? Look. Thank you, man. Oh man. That's amazing. Don't you feel weird that you didn't say a line in Masters of the Air when you see this bunch of a cast here? Hey, thank everybody who worked on this thing. We love you. We'd love to point you out, but we're not going to. And we'll see you later. John Orloff is in the audience. Let's see our writer right here. You took your jacket off, man.
There you go. Get that away from me. Hello, everyone. That's it.
You want to say some words?
Just thank you all for being here. Thank you all for your hard work. We love you all.
Right? Come on.
I agree.
All right, anyway, thank you all for coming. This is just a little piece of the show. We wish we could just show the whole show, right?
We'll taste. Taste.
Oh, yeah. All right. Give me take two. This is just taste. Okay. This is just a little taste of our show, and we hope you enjoy it. And we did it for serious reasons, but somehow tonight it's been so long, we're all drunk. No, but that's it. Anyway, you know all these guys. Thank you all for coming. We love you, and we thank you all for working very hard on our show.
It was an amazing experience. It was a dream come true, really, because I had been such a fan of Band of Brothers and of the Pacific and just everything that Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks do. So it was a remarkable experience. I felt very honored. Yeah, really, it was such a privilege. You know, it was truly one of the honors of my life, getting to be a small part of bringing their stories to life. They're the real-world superheroes. We would not have the world we have today without them. So I feel very honored that I got to be a part of this. Callum's the best. I love Callum. We had a fantastic time together.
No, you know, Clean Atwood did an incredible job as always, and yeah, they're just a small part of what she did. Yeah, I mean, that's what's so beautiful about these guys, Cleven and Egan. They really care about the guys that they're looking after and they're leading, and they care about what they're doing and know how important it is. But Egan's beautiful because he likes to have a good time too, and he enjoys himself. And it's a lot of fun to play. Me and Austin in real life, and Buck and Bucky in the show, yeah, we all love each other. I want them to, I'm someone that's fascinated by World War II, and I didn't know about this story, and it's so important to me that it's shared with people and we can shine a light on what these guys did. We wouldn't be here without them, and it was a real honor to represent them. There's never been a moment in my life that I haven't known who Spielberg is and Tom Hanks is, and to play in their orbit and to learn from them and grow with them, and is a dream come true. And to do it with the Band of Brothers legacy and the Pacific legacy with Gary Goetzman too, it's a real honor. The cockpit's tight. It's like a little tin can, and it just really hits home how crazy it was what these guys did. And they would go out for 8 hours and do their job and come home. And that's what I love about this show. You get to experience warfare up in the air in the most extreme conditions ever known to mankind. We see them deal with loss and grief and the effect that these events have on their mind, body, and soul.
It was brilliant to work on. I mean, getting to work under Steven Spielberg, Tom Hanks, and Gary Goetzman, wherever he is. But it was brilliant. It's an epic show, and I'm a big fan of Band of Brothers, and so yeah, it's nice. I hope it does, show an insight into, into humanizing these lads, and that they had to step up, and they're basically kids, had to become men, and so yeah, just appreciation and respect from it. Just from the curriculum in school and that, learning about World War II and that, I was obviously familiar with it, but as I signed onto the show, it was getting to learn a bit more and an insight into their families and stuff like that. You just grow a massive kind of appreciation, and you have gratitude, and you understand that you've got massive privileges as well, and these lads didn't have. I was great spending time with the lads. There's a proper brotherhood there, so they're good lads.
Well, Harry Crosby is not only fighting the Nazis, he's fighting uncontrollable air sickness, which is, a pretty full-on thing to be fighting. He doesn't feel like a hero. He feels a bit insecure. He feels like he's not the right man for the job. So I think he's the perfect guy to narrate the show and bring us through. It was great. The cast are unbelievable. 250 actors or something, I think, we had on this. Each day, new people coming in, people leaving. It was unbelievable. It felt like a big party shooting it. I watched it the other day in the theatre with there was about 300 people in this theatre, and each person had a very different experience. There was people laughing, people crying, and I sat there in that theatre and I went, God, I just can't wait for audiences at home to feel what these people were clapping, people were going crazy, people were clapping at the titles. It felt like you're on a roller coaster at times, just getting moved around in these big air sequences that they had. It was pretty intense.
The word I've been using the most is immersive. I mean, Gary and Tom and Steven, they care so much about this world and this story and these guys, right down to just every cockpit sequence was just full on. And that made it feel really special, and I hope it comes across in the finished product. Yeah, I mean, I was familiar with the 8th Air Force, but I wasn't super familiar with the 100th Bomb Group, the Bloody 100th, as they call it. And I mean, you learn about these stories, these boys, right, these young men, but they were really boys, coming from all over America, joining in this effort, this unprecedented effort against an unprecedented enemy. And it stands out as this remarkable fact of history with, of course, the devastation, that it wreaked on these men's lives, but how they triumphed in the end, the courage, it's just, it's almost incomprehensible. Rosie was grew up in Brooklyn, became a lawyer. Pearl Harbor happens, he enlists, and he ends up spending hundreds and hundreds of hours in the cockpit training gunners. So when he finally goes to the 100th, he's super experienced behind the cockpit, but little does he know that some of his first missions are going to be some of the most harrowing of the whole journey.
Yes, definitely. I think Sergeant Ken Lemmons, I mean, I was so inspired by him. I read his book. I did a lot of research on the guy. And from an early moment, I realized how lucky I was to be able to tell his story. A lot of the time, mechanics and ground crews, they don't always get that narrative. And although he's kind of on the periphery, you see, he's almost like the audience's eyes and ears. You see what it was like for the guys at the base, what they would do in between the missions, how they were dealing with this psychological torment of a lot of people not coming back, and seeing the harrowing effect that it was having on people. So to show what a 19-year-old was going through at that time with so much responsibility, I felt an element of pressure, but also I was in safe hands. It's such an incredible production to be a part of, such a brilliant cast. So many people had each other's backs. There was that support system. So I really just, I did my research, and we had a brilliant boot camp with Captain Dale Dye. And from there, I just wanted to, show the mechanics point of view. I mean, Stephen and Tom and Gary, they are the masters at kind of retelling these World War II stories, and they do it on such a spectacle level.
This is a massive endeavor for sure, and I mean, I heard about this project about 3 years ago, and I went through the auditioning process, and then found out in February, 4 weeks before we got shipped off to boot camp, that I was going to be playing Lieutenant Roy Frank Claytor, a real guy, a pilot commanding officer of a B-17, and I was floored. And to be able to spend 8 months in London working on a show like this was like the most overwhelming, exciting thing that's ever happened to me as an actor. The intimate moments, the intimate conversations that I've had with the other actors behind the scenes, waiting to go up and do our scenes, or on the weekends when we traveled together and bonded, and those memories I'm going to cherish for the rest of my life. And I hope to know these guys for the rest of my life. I mean, this is an incredible group of actors.
I think Apple TV Plus finally brought it to life, thank goodness. So it's been a long journey, and we're all incredibly excited to finally have it finished, because it's been a bit of work getting it here. It is enormous, which is one of the reasons it took so long to make. It was such an enormous undertaking. Quite frankly, I don't think anything has ever been attempted like this in history. And people are going to see things that you have not seen, that no human eyes have seen in 85 years. I hope that audiences walk away from this show understanding exactly how harrowing, terrifying, and difficult it was to fly on these missions, and how many young men never returned. It's pretty brutal to have been a member of the 8th Air Force. If you were a member of the 8th Air Force, your chances of coming home whole were 1 in 4, which is pretty dark.
Oh my God, it's the whole reason we do it, is to make it as true and authentic as we can. We talk to all their family, we read every book, every article, every memoir, and we're all inclusive of every expert on the subject, and we really felt like we connected with some really great stories out of the research. The most relevant thing in the story is, let's not let this happen again. I worry that history gets lost every year a little bit more and more, and now we do a representation of a part of the story of World War II, and these boys, 19, 20 years old, went across the pond, flew planes, and fought for what they thought was saving the world from the loss of freedom and the loss of democracy. Oh my God, we lucked out, you know. Lucy Bevan is just a great casting director out of London, and she was really helpful in leading us to this batch of actors that we couldn't be luckier. They all were working actors, but who knew we had all these movie stars in this show, right?
Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and comment on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when new videos are released.